Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 270. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is Nikki Santos, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Hello, hello. And it's Nikki Dos Santos, that is.
No disrespect.
Nah, no problem, man.
I have this thing on my phone where it says text to speech. So I typed their name, and that's how it came up Santos.
Well, thank you for having me, Keith Andrew. Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely. Now, starting off, for people who want to know what the Keith Andrew Network is, it's basically my way, and by the way, it's live, so you can drink water if you want. It's basically my way of showing people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still mount to something. But that's my catchphrase. Also, I like to add to it saying that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and you should prove to them that, hey, you may label me as handicapped, retarded, or any type of disability, but that's not going to dictate who I am and who I'm going to be.
That's right, man. Good for you. I respect that.
No, absolutely. With that being said, it'll be a half hour every time. We see how it goes. Maybe we can go more. So half hour
Right.
to about 45 minutes, but we see how it goes.
Oh,
My
righty.
interviews are different. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself when you were growing up?
So I grew up in Staten Island, New York. Always had an interest for film and music. I was one of those kids that walked around the city and had to stop every time the guys were breakdancing or, singing or rapping or whatever it was. And anything entertainment-wise, I had to stop and watch or be involved in. And, now that I'm older, I've decided to pursue these things. So I'm working in a recording studio and I'm also working as an actor. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. What can you tell us about that? Now, who influenced you, and how did you get into that line of work?
So what I did was I went to a school for audio engineering. It was called the School of Audio Engineering, SAE for short, and it was a full-time 9-month course. So it taught us a lot of things about recording and mixing records and, using proper microphones and proper microphone techniques and whatnot. So, from there I got an internship in a studio in Manhattan and Times Square, and I worked with a lot of great clients there. I went from interning to, managing the studio to assisting engineers to sometimes engineering. And I've even done a few voiceovers on a couple of albums in there too. So it's been fun.
No, absolutely. So tell us more about it. What albums did you do? What voiceovers do you do?
So I did a little intro on a Busta Rhymes mixtape that came out last December called what was it? The Abstract went on Return of the Dragon. The Abstract went on vacation. So I did a little intro on that, and I did a little outro on I did 2 different songs on there, and how that came about was I was assisting his engineer in a session, and well, he literally just looked over at me and said, "Come here, I want to use your voice on this." So I was nervous, but, he said, "Hey, you're an actor, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm an actor." He said, "Okay, well, let's treat this like acting." So he gave me some notes, he told me what to say, and, he had me change it up the way that he wanted me to change it up, and that's what I did.
Can you give us a
So,
perfect example?
of what? Of what I did on the song?
Or anything, if you're okay with it.
Well, I mean, for that, I mean, you just have to hear that for yourself. I'll give you another one that I did though too to add to that. There's a backup artist that comes into the studio as well. His name is Toby Love, and he's another person who I did a little skit called, I think it was called the New Year's Eve 2016 skit. And I just had a little line where I said, like, "Hey, boys." I did something like that. And his album actually hit #1 on Billboards for bachata. And he's doing really well with that. And, from there, I had my manager of the studio, he knew I was very much into acting as well as music. So he put me on a session where they were, filming for a short film. And me and the director started talking, and I let him know I was an actor, and he gave me a couple of lines, and I wound up performing in that film, which ended up being the first film I ever worked on.
No, absolutely, and that brings up our next question, is how many films were you a part of? Mm-hmm. And were you part of just indies, or were you part of major films?
Right now, it's just independent films, and there's 3 of them since when I really got my foot in the door and started to, really pursue it and take it serious, was about a year ago. So in the last year, I've gotten 3 short films done. I actually just put my reel together yesterday. So, I have some footage. I'll definitely send it to you so you can check it out. And aside from that, I also went on an audition recently for a play, and I got the part. And ironically, I had laryngitis when I went for the audition, but I actually did get the part. And we already finished that. But I'm doing another play about Amelia Earhart, who I'm a big fan of, so I'm happy to do that. So I got two theater gigs and 3 short films and a couple of voiceovers going on.
It's funny you should mention that. She's someone I would love to have on the show. And there's a lot of conspiracy about what happened with her saying she was either shot down or she went into the Bermuda Triangle. But we can actually while on the subject, do you believe in that? Which one do you believe? That she was kidnapped, or do you think she just got lost in time?
It's a tough one. I mean, I want to go ahead and say, I tend to be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist myself, but I'm going to go ahead and say maybe she got lost and possibly crashed, and we just never found the debris or anything, or her. So.
Hey, there's only one person who can solve all that. That's John Edwards.
John Edwards? Yeah, okay. All right.
And I don't mean the guy who has an affair. I'm talking about the guy from Crossing Over.
Okay. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, what were some of your biggest idols growing up, and did you ever get the chance to meet them or work with them?
Oh, God. I got so many on this one. So many. I'll tell you what. I was always a huge fan of Al Pacino, and I did some background work on that movie that he came out with Phil Spector, and I got to meet him. He's actually a very soft-spoken individual, very nice guy, and very about his business. I mean, he's very focused, that guy. It's no coincidence he's where he is today. But I did get to meet him. I was a huge fan of him. I was a big fan. A new person I'm a huge fan of that I got to work with is Uzo Aduba. I think I said her name wrong. Uzo Aduba from Orange is the New Black. She wasn't really around when I was growing up, but she really inspired me this past couple of years to really go forth and with my career and take it to the next level. So, I did some extra work playing an inmate on Orange is the New Black. So I got to work, I got to see her a couple of times on set. I've got to see Jennifer Aniston on set before. I'm a huge fan of her. Queen Latifah, I got to work with. Definitely, I idolized that woman. So it's a few in there.
No, absolutely. Now, I'm just thinking, because I usually say who did I use for an inspiration? It's like, yeah, I used my sister and brother. But, really thinking about it, yeah, they were like just like the stepping stones of being the inspiration. But, I just really no one that really comes to mind because there's movies that come to mind. I give you a perfect example. When I saw Almost Famous for the first time is when I was in my sophomore year, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I was about 16, 17. And I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Go on tour as a band, go on tour as a wrestler, see what they see, take in the experience.
Nice.
And, then I came across Suits one day, and I started to take acting classes, like, for a day or so. And the guy was asking for too much money, and so I was like, forget it. But then after from watching Suits, I was like, oh, this is what I wanted. I want to be like Mike, and I want a boss like Harvey Specter. But,
right.
I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm not good enough for that. And that's the question I'm going to ask you in a minute, is do you doubt yourself? And basically, I just got tired of people saying to me, you have poor people skills, you have this, you have that, throwing all the labels out there. And so throwing it back at you, is were people ever doubting you, or people ever thrown, basically shit at you saying you're trying to bring you down, but you're never going to amount to something?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm very blessed to have a family that truly, truly believes in me 100%. But, I definitely had, my dad is a very safe guy, so, he always used to tell me, do something else too, just in case it doesn't work out. I believe in you, but always, have something else going on because it's a struggle, you know what I mean, in the entertainment world. So, and, there was definitely, outside of my family, there was definitely a lot of people that were like, oh, you sure? You think that's within your reach? And, they were very negative about my decision, but I gotta tell you, for the most part, I had a lot of support. I think it was me doubting myself a lot, and I think that came from looking on TV and seeing, like, well, in the music industry, it came from looking around and not seeing very many women in it. It was a lot of men, so that was intimidating. And with the acting world, it was more like, you looked on TV and everyone kind of looked the same. All the girls were like 5'7", 5'9", 110 pounds, skinny, perfect skin, perfect hair. And, I got a little insecure because I'm 5 foot tall, I'm a little on the chunky side. I don't wear much makeup, I'm not this marvelous person, but I started to. And I give credit to Amy Schumer for this as well. And a lot of the characters on Orange is the New Black, they're definitely different than what you see on everyday TV. And it inspired me to go forth and to really think, like, to be unapologetically me and to realize that I'm unique. And, that gives me a good shot because there's not a lot of people that are like me,
No, absolutely. And the same thing, if you want to throw back at me, there's really not a lot of people out there who have disabilities. And that, perfect example, if someone was talking to me for my last interview or so, saying, why pick someone who looks Spanish, but why don't you actually pick a Spanish person for the role?
Right.
You ever see Breaking Bad?
Oh, of course, yeah.
There's a guy where it has RJ has a disability, and
yes.
He's like, well, let's pick somebody else who's normal and have him pretend. And it's kind of like, why can't you have someone who actually has it? He's a perfect example of it. And
he was great, by the way. He was great.
You did. Yeah.
I enjoyed his performances.
His character got annoying after a while, but he was a good actor.
You're right. Hey, I want to mention something to you, too, that I don't mention to much people, but, I've been more open with it recently. I have this thing called, I don't know if you ever heard of it, called Chiari. And what it is it's actually a malformation in the brain. So it's pretty complex. So I'll keep it as simple as possible. But basically, the bottom of my brainstem is actually sliding down into the spine. So it causes a lot of issues sometimes. Sometimes I have little blackouts and stuff like that, and I have like these really, really throbbing headaches. And when you can imagine anything with your brain or with your spine, you can imagine the amount of problems it could cause. So I've had to deal with that for the last 2 years as well, because I noticed there was some things going on. Sometimes my finger would act up or my leg would act up. And then they, took some MRIs, and I realized I had a brain malformation. So, so I definitely understand where you're coming from with certain things with that too, because it can be hard to, pursue everything you want to pursue while overcoming that as well,
No, absolutely. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break. Just holding up my water so I know where it is. But I do the editing. I should hold up a sign or something. It would make it easier. But
nice.
water bottle works. The first thing I want to promote, and you shouldn't be on this, you're a perfect example. I'm on there, so perfect example would be you come across my celebrity VM. Actually, it would be useful to promote what I'm promoting one of those days. So first thing I want to promote is celebrityvm.com. And what celebrityvm.com is, it's for you, it's for me, for people who are famous, like from Breaking Bad, Almost Famous, WWE, TNA, or people who just starting out, like I said, you and me. For example, you would come to my profile, I charge about $20, and you can say, hey Keith, today's my birthday, my husband likes impressions, my kids like, doesn't make the honor roll, they doesn't want a trophy. Whatever you want me to say, as long as it's not perverted or provocative, I get to say for you. And dependent on the person, prices do vary. You can get like a couple wrestlers on there, like saying Gail Kim, who wants $100. A couple good friends of mine, Velvet Sky, Marlena Perez, Brooke Adams, they want like 25 or so. There's sober people who have their heads way up there. Brooke Hogan wants $200. Dennis Rodman wants $500. And basically, it's a nice way of interacting with people and your fans. Plus, you're making money on the side. So that's celebrityvm.com.
Interesting.
So far, no one has asked me for one. So people look at it, but no one has asked me. But,
interesting. You'll get there. They'll ask you eventually.
No, absolutely. And you should be on there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely look into that. Thanks.
And the last thing I want to promote is WooQuates.com. WooQuates is an online description box. $14 a month. Ongoing fee. As long as you continue to pay the $14, they will give you different themes in their mail to you. Give me a perfect... I can't even talk. Perfect example of this month's theme for WooQuates.com. It's speed. So I guess I didn't really read into it, but to show I guess it has to do with cars. They're not selling the drug speed.
Yeah, I hope not.
So basically, it's about cars and Transformers. So every month has a different theme. Last month thing was like an anime theme, so they will send you a shirt, a toy, an accessory. So I will give you a perfect example. A water bottle, a phone case, anime cat, or just a bottle cap. So far, like a perfect example. You get these items in a t-shirt, and you get it for $14 a month. And everyone has a different things. So go to WooQuates.com. There's 4 different themes. There's the normal box. There's the DX box. There's the anime box, where in the anime, they just give you all anime stuff. There's there's a box for shirts where you can just get like different shirts a month. There's socks. WWE has their own thing. It's really good. So $14 a month, unless they changed it. And the last thing I want to promote is, do you have a dog?
Do I have a dog? No. I have a lot in my family, but none personally at my house.
Alright, the reason I bring it up, and that's not what it's called, do you have a dog? It's basically saying it's BarkBox.com. Same thing as Woo Crates. On BarkBox, you get a dog treat, 2 toys, an accessory. So basically, there's hundreds. There's Woo Crates, there's BarkBox, there's Geekbox, there's a Level Up. There's hundreds of them, but for right now, I just want to promote CelebrityVM.com, WooCrates.com, and BarkBox. And also, I do work with Target, but I don't have anything to promote right now until the 25th.
Right.
But, now, going back to the show, this is your time after all. Is there anything you want to promote, anything you want to talk about, anything you want to ask me? I'm an open book. I don't hide anything.
I mean, first of all, I'm just thank you for having me on here, and I respect what you're doing. I mean, there's a lot of people that use every excuse in the book to not work or to not try to pursue something that they dreamed of doing, and here you are. You know, you said you had your disability, and you're still out there, and you're still meeting people and networking, and I respect that. I truly do, and that's why I said there's no way I can't do the show, even though my schedule got a little crazy this week. I said I definitely have to do it. As for me, the only thing I want to say is, you know, I have all my social media pages. They're pretty much Nikki Dos Santos, you know, my website, NikkiDosSantos.com, my Twitter, Nikki Dos Santos, my Facebook, Nikki Dos Santos. Everything is basically under my name, and I got some great things coming up. Some I can't discuss, some I've already discussed, and yeah, anybody who's interested, definitely follow along. I got some great things coming up. I think this year is going to be a great year. I just went on my first TV audition for a role on Shades of Blue. I don't think I got it because it's been about a week and I haven't heard back, but I think getting into the room was a good thing. So I think some real good things are going to go on this next year.
All right. Well, I do have a couple more questions if you don't mind.
Sure.
And the first one is, what websites would you recommend? First question is, like I said, I haven't done this as a way, so I'm really rusty. Also,
sure.
Part of my disability is I hesitate. Apparently, it's showing.
You're doing great.
I appreciate it. Usually, I hide it pretty well, but sometimes it just wears out. But first question I'm going to ask you is, what websites would you recommend? And also, are you on Stage 32 in LinkedIn?
So the first question, as far as like, I don't know if I got this correctly, but do you mean like who did I go through for the website? Because my website, if that's what you meant, my website is through Wix.com.
Well, that's the first
one. Which I thought
one.
It was very user friendly, so that's why I liked it.
But I was gonna say, like, if you were recommending to me and your fans out there, what websites would you recommend and not recommend?
I mean, I would definitely recommend mine, which again is NikkiDosSantos.com. I don't know which.
I'll give you a perfect example. For me to, if I interrupt you, I apologize.
No, you're good.
For me, I use LinkedIn, Stage 32, Twitter, Facebook, even though Facebook is kind of 50-50, you don't really know who you're talking to. But that's the problem for most websites. YouTube, people don't really communicate that well. Mm-hmm. I used to use something called IMVU.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that, or you don't use that?
Yeah, I never used it, but I think I know what you're referring to.
But now, for people who don't know what it is, IMVU is the Instant Messenger Virtual Reality. So basically, you create your own person or avatar, and you get to interact with it. It's good, but now it's kind of shady. because
Right.
I would introduce myself to people. Like, are you for real? Is this just on the internet? It's like, yeah, okay, I'm using the wrong website because no one's taking me seriously.
Right.
But,
Well, I like YouTube. I like the other one too, Vimeo. I throw a lot of videos up on there. You can actually find more of my work on there. I have a lot more on that than I do on my website, video-wise. I definitely have LinkedIn. I have Snapchat, which I don't use very much, but I'm starting to become a fan of Snapchat. Instagram I like. LinkedIn I don't use very much, but I mean, it's a good professional networking tool to have.
it is. I had to create my new account because my old account got suspended. Basically, for people out there, don't add people and remove people. Because I was adding, removing. I was introducing myself. And there's something called, actually I keep this one to myself. I don't want to give out all my secrets. So basically, they didn't like us. You're adding and removing, and I copy and paste, not because I have something with my hands where I don't want to retype it over and over. So I would send a message like I did to you, and I would change the beginning of it. So, but, I do copy and paste. Yeah, I'm one of those people. But I don't like writing the whole thing over because I'm going to forget it or I'm going to add something and say, well, I said something to Nikki. Why isn't it the same thing I said to you? And this whole big thing. But basically the message, it's up front. I introduce myself, tell you what the show is about, and I'm up front. I don't bullshit with people.
Right, I noticed. That's good.
And for the websites, this kind of bothers me, but it's past tense. I had 1,203 people on my MySpace.
Oh my God.
And what pissed me off just thinking about it was that has to go back. See, when did it get the new shitty thing?
I never had a MySpace, ever.
The new shitty thing is basically how you're looking at me. It's a screen. And then you would move the mouse, it would go across, and you have keys up here.
Oh, Lord.
And it's like, why did he replace it? It used to be your picture, a little box underneath. It would have message, friend requests, add to favorites, and that's really about it. And you can like the page and whatever. It was simple.
Organized and simple.
Now it's all over the place. It's horrible. But the reason I bring it up, I had over 1,000 people. So that was about 2006 to it's about 10 years. Don't I feel old? Today's coming up is my high school reunion.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to it.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. So I noticed that we do have a couple of mutual friends from the Actors Green Room. Are you affiliated with the, like the Actors Green Lounge or, the Actors Green Room itself? Because I know we have mutual friends that are in there.
Well, it's kind of funny you should mention that. I have two main pages. I have my main page, and then I have my throwaway page. You're on my throwaway page. Basically, my throwaway page is when I first introduce myself. I can send people friend requests and everything.
Right.
And after I do the interview, I'm going to bring you over to my professional page. Because, long story short, I was sending out too many friend requests, too many messages, so my accounts will get frozen and everything. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to have a professional and a throwaway. But,
Smart.
But to answer your question, there are a couple of people, yes, I say, hey, you're a perfect example. Hey, one of my friends. Not really, maybe. If they're okay with my talk. So, yeah, I'd be more than happy to interview them, have them on my show.
Yeah, it's a good group, the Actors Green Lounge. If you're not in there, you should definitely check it out.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, it's free. It's got a lot of members, though. It's got about 6,000 members in there, so it can be overwhelming. There's a whole lot of posting going on in there. You might mute the notifications sometimes.
Well, if it's just one of those, it's on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Now, is there a way you can see who the members are, or do you just...
I'm not sure. I can send it to you, though, and you can check it out.
No, I appreciate it.
Community to network in, you know?
Because I would sign in how I got most of my interviews. I would sign up to a group. It says who is a member, and I go for the members saying, okay, I like her. Usually I go for looks. Okay, she's hot. I want her. And then I was like, okay, let's do something else.
At least you're honest, right?
Right. And also it makes the numbers go up, too, for the viewers.
That's true. That's true.
But then occasionally I would say, besides on looks, I would say, okay, you're an actress. I need more actresses. Okay, you're a CEO. Now I need more CEOs. So basically, I interview everyone and everyone. Actors, actresses, models, CEOs. And people have said to me, what's my demographic? And I didn't know what that meant. Now I do know. So, well, my demographic is I interview white people. I interview black people, Spanish, Asian. It's like, that's not what demographic means. That means what ages. Like, oh, well, you couldn't just tell me that from the beginning?
Right?
But, I interview everyone. And it's just, I like giving people a chance. Not a lot of people gave me a chance.
Right.
But, I like to be remembered as, I remember that guy. He was an asshole. But he was nice enough to give me an opportunity. Like, you're a perfect example of that. And everyone from the 270 people I interviewed, you guys did not approach me. Say, hey, we heard you're doing a good thing. We want to be on your show. I approached you. And I gave, basically, you're supporting a good cause. You're making a new friend out of it. And I'm extending my hand to you in friendship and as a professional saying, I would like to give you an opportunity to get your, I don't know, well, it's been a half hour, 45 minutes of your time. And basically, I'm giving you your airtime. And when you accept it, one, it makes you a good person. And also, you can say, I worked as a charity case. Some people call it a charity case.
You ask some good questions, too. So, you do. You ask good questions.
No, absolutely. And I give you a perfect example while wrapping up. And then I pass it back to you before we close up. It's season 1. I have it right here. Season 1. My friend Richard Epcar made fun of me. He's like, oh, I have some questions. He said, oh no, he's pulling out the green book. Richard Epcar, it's, do your kids, or did you ever play Mortal Kombat versus DC?
No, I did play Mortal Kombat a lot when I was younger, though.
No, that's a great game.
It is. I used to stay in the comic book stores and have little competitions with people. Yeah, I was one of those.
Blockbuster used to have those tournaments, so I miss that.
Oh, yeah, right? Those were fun.
So, about the green book, season 1, I wrote down a whole bunch of questions. And if you want, I could ask you something. I try and make it every interview different, every season different. Season 1, I would ask you about, where do you stand on gay rights? Where do you stand on abortion? Do you believe in life after death? Where do you stand on politics? Where do you stand on torture? And I didn't want to sound repetitive over and over. So
right.
I said, okay, what's season 2 be different? Season 2, I kind of kept it like season 1 and 5. Let's be a little more in depth. Now I'm going to pass the show over to you. And season 3, I kept the same format. Season 4, I probably will go back to season 1, but keep it, will a season 3 mix with season 1? It's so basically it's just I'm showing people that I'm saying, look at what I'm able to accomplish. He can actually. A lot of people say, if you look at my website, KeithAndrewNetWork.com, I have my recent interview there. or it's interviewed by Susan Brenner, but underneath that it has my recommendations. And people are make jokes and say, well, I didn't know he was going to ask me this. I like keeping people off guard. So people ask me, well, can you tell me what I'm going to ask you? I was like, it's basically a normal conversation, you know. Did you ever do a human pyramid? Did you? And then just keep it different from the guys to the girls. Girls you can flirt with, guys you can't. So for the girls, did you ever do a human pyramid? Did you ever do, I don't know, whatever sports? The two, where did you stand on this and that? And the guys, it's basically more straightforward. Did you do any sports? Pretty much the same, but without the pyramid stuff. Because it sounds kind of creepy. Anyway, I'm just being honest with you. I love human pyramids. I'm a loser.
Hey, everyone's got their thing, right?
It's true. So, like, every interview is different. It's not going to be the same thing. And season 1 was the different themes. You know, it's basically, I started like saying, look, season 1 and the video quality was horrible, but hey, I wanted to show and make a point. When I first started, what you saw on the screen is what the camera recorded. So I didn't care that I wasn't being seen. And because I had my hands the camera, and I would be recorded from the phone. And season 2 would be the camera recorded from the computer screen. And that's why I started wearing professional shirts. Now, Skype, using Skype Recorder, it's got to be cut in half. You got to be on the left, I'm going to be on the right. And it looks like Fox News, CNN. So basically, I went from the phone to recording from the computer screen. Now it looks professional. Oh, thank you. And people said to me, why didn't you do this from the start? Well, you wouldn't have seen a transition. You wouldn't see.
That's true.
The questions have changed and everything, you know, or my different looks. Season 2, I was wearing old professional shirts. Now I'm laid back. I may go back to professional shirts. But I'm showing you that there's transitions, that it's not always going to be the same.
Right.
I didn't mean to go on that big rant, but passing show over to you.
Right.
Passing show over to you, patching things up, wrapping things up. Was there any funny stories you'd like to share? Any pranks you pulled on people? Anything you want to promote?
I have so many funny stories. It's just a matter of having permission to repeat some of them. That can sometimes become a conflict. So I don't know if I could say some of the funny stories I did that I have working on set, because, oh God, it's been funny. Especially on working on some of the shows that I've worked on, because, you know, I haven't gotten to work on anything, you know, any big speaking roles on TV, but I've done a lot of extra work on TV before I really started pursuing things. And I remember working on Gotham, and they used to always, this isn't so much a, you know, funny story as just funny things that they did. When I work on, have you ever watched the show Gotham?
I saw bits and pieces. I'm not really a big fan of Gotham.
I'm not either, to be honest with you, but every time I worked on it, they did some crazy, and I'll send you a picture one of these days, but they said they do some crazy things with my hair, and they throw all this dirt on my face, and they make me really look like a psycho. And one funny story about that is the first day that I got my fitting for my uniform, because apparently I play a good prisoner, because it seems every time I'm on a show I'm a prisoner. So they made me a crazy prisoner, and when I was getting fitted for the uniform, the guy said, "How tall are you?" And I said, "I'm 5 foot tall." And he started laughing, and I said, "What's so funny?" And he said, "I have an idea. I want to know if you'll do it." So I said, "What?" He said, "I want to give you a shirt, but no pants." So I said, "What?" I said, "I'm not going on TV with no pants." So he said, no, the shirt's going to be really long. It's going to, you know, be down to, you know, at least your knees. So you'll be covered. He said, "It's just you're so short that I want to do something fun with you. So I want to just put you in a shirt and just forget the pants." So I worked the whole season 2 with just a shirt and no pants. I don't know. The things I do for film, I don't know. But I was covered. It was okay. But I just thought it was funny. And, you know, I'm walking through the set And the director's laughing, and the production team, they're all pointing. Look at the crazy girl. She got no pants on. And, yeah, it was fun.
The one funny story I do want to share is I used to work in this retail store. I won't mention it by name, but basically, well, I can. Nothing bad happened, but I can fast forward. So basically, I went in and I noticed there was a wet floor sign outside the men's bathroom, and I went, whatever. Okay, so the floor is wet, but no one told me the toilets were broken. And I still had to go. And so I said, screw it. There's no rubber bathroom, so I need to go. Actually, there were rubber bathrooms, so I was just too lazy to do it. So I went in, and I flushed, and I overflowed. And happened in the toilet, there was actually poop in there, but not for me, but somebody else. So when I flushed, I basically ran out of there. And I was like, oh, by the way, the toilet's overflowing. What?
By the way, you just reminded me of something else. One time I was working on a movie called The Bounty Hunter with Jennifer Aniston and Gerard Butler.
Right.
And Jennifer plays a girl named Nicole. So my name's Nicole. I mean, I go by Nikki, but my name primarily is Nicole. So I went to go to the bathroom, and she was in the stall next to me because it was a multiple-person bathroom, and I didn't know that she was there. And someone walked in, I think it was like a makeup lady or something, or her assistant, and she walked in and she said, "How's it going there, Nicole?" And I'm answering her going, I guess okay, I'm just using the bathroom. And we had everything that she asked, I was answering her. And then when I got out, I saw Jennifer Aniston just looking at me like I was a crazy person. And I realized that the whole time the lady was talking to her, but she was addressing her as Nicole because that was her character's name. But I thought she was talking to me, and I didn't realize until the movie came out and I watched the movie that she was talking to her the whole time. So, yeah, fun things happen in my life.
It's true. But actually, there's more to the story if you like to know.
What's that?
Oh, there's more to the bathroom story.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. So basically, the toilet's overflowing. I said, oh, by the way, it's overflowing in there. So I run to the back. Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, whatever happens. And I didn't do anything. It was so like that when I came in. So this guy, Kyle, can't remember his name. I think Kyle or something. Says, hey, Bob, the toilet's overflowing. Okay, yes, we know. But yeah, now there's shit on the floor everywhere, and customers are complaining, they're stepping in it. I'm on the side, I'm on like this on the side, laughing, almost holding my sides, and it's like, Keith, it's not that funny. Well, it is, but okay, it's not.
Well, it is.
Like stupid stuff like that's funny. Or something stupid I did recently. I did not do it on purpose. I work in the Woodbury Commons, and one of their bathrooms, he had men's right here where my hand is, and on the other side of my hand he had women's. And when I walked out, I was staring at the floor, and I thought I was going in the direction of the floor so I went to the left. Unfortunately, I went to the right, and I accidentally walked into the women's bathroom.
Walked in? Did you get yelled at? By a bunch of screaming women?
Some girls were standing there looking at me. I'm like, but I just turned around and walked out. As I was walking out, this Asian girl looked at me and just was shaking her head. It's like, what?
She probably thought you did it on purpose. She probably said, oh boy.
Now, rapping, not saying I do have my moments, but that's not one of my smartest moments.
Nope.
Now, wrapping up. How can people follow you on social media? And I took this one fun factor. So going on the record, doing a little hand sign for Bill O'Reilly. So going on the record, when I first approached you, what was your honest opinion of being on my talk show? And after doing the interview, how do you feel now?
My first opinion was, like I said before, I was like, you know what, I really respect this guy because he's putting it out there that, you know, he's got his learning disability and, you know, it's hard for him to do some of these things, not as easy as it is for other people, but here he is doing it, and right there alone, I'm inspired, you know what I mean? And that's true story. That's not just me, you know, gassing you up at all. That's true story. I did not think your questions would be as good as they were. That I must admit. I was like, oh, okay, this guy's coming up. You know, as the interview was going, I said, all right, this guy's got his shit together. He's definitely coming up with some good questions. But, yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, I'm going to talk to you off the air. Wrapping up, I just want to say it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2.
Thank you, man. It was an honor to be here. And again, if anybody who wants to keep up on some of the work that I got going on, if they follow me at NikkiDosSantos.com, all of my social media links are right on that page.